From a war-ravaged and impoverished nation in the early 20th century, South Korea experienced an unbelievable economic expansion after recovering from the Korean War in the 1950s. South Korea's GDP expanded from 2.7 billion USD in 1962 to 283 billion USD in 1990 and reached the $1 trillion mark in the early 2000s. This period of meteoric rise in the economy of South Korea is also known as the Miracle on the Han River. South Korea is a perfect story of rising from poverty to prosperity and becoming one of the world's most developed economies. We'll definitely be making a separate video to highlight this remarkable journey in detail, but in this video, we will dive into some less explored aspects of South Korean society, shedding some light on the challenges and issues that often go unnoticed. Stay tuned as we uncover the hidden stories and complexities of this dynamic nation. Welcome to the dark side of South Korea. Chapter 1: Mental Health Struggles. South Korea is infamous for its high-pressure education system as well as corporate work culture, which takes a toll on the mental health of its population. Starting from an early age, an average South Korean child's life is centered around education due to the pressure from parents, teachers, and peers to succeed academically. This is deeply ingrained in South Korean social structure and is also known as the education fever. Pressure on students to get into an esteemed university has soared over the years. It is deemed that getting selected into a top-tier educational institution leads to a prestigious and well-paid job with the South Korean government, bank, or a high-profile conglomerate company such as Samsung, Hyundai, LG Electronics, etc. There is a major cultural taboo attached to those who have not achieved a formal university education. They face social bias and are often looked down by others as second-class citizens, resulting in fewer employment opportunities for them. Also, hierarchical structure of the system has been criticized for oppressing creativity and innovation, promoting intense competition that is often blamed for the high suicide rate in South Korea, particularly among the youth aged between 10 years to 19 years. The stigma around mental health issues is still strong, which makes it difficult for many to seek help. Chapter 2: Aging and Declining Population. Post the baby boom in the 1950s, the population increased at an exceedingly high rate, and the Korean government implemented an anti-natalist policy in the 1960s to put brakes on its population growth rate. Moving forward, as the country developed economically, the fertility rate further declined because more married women chose pursuing careers rather than raising children. Today, South Korea has the second lowest fertility rate in the world and a fast-growing aging population with 17.5% of the nation above the age of 65. It is estimated that by 2025, more than 20% of the population of South Korea would be over the age of 65. Moreover, the total population of South Korea has started declining since 2021 because of such low birth rates. It is projected that this decline will continue moving forward, and by 2100, South Korea's population will become half of what it is today. Chapter 3: North-South Relations. Tensions between North and South Korea is a complex and long-standing issue that has prevailed since the partition of Korea, which occurred 7 decades ago. Following are the major threats posed by North Korea to South Korea today. 1. Army. North Korea has the 4th largest army in the world by number of active military personnel. It has capabilities like tanks, attack helicopters, artillery, submarines, fighter aircrafts, etc. Its military is heavily deployed along the Korean demilitarized zone, which separates North and South Korea. North Korea performs multiple military activities time and again in an attempt to demonstrate its military abilities as well as to provoke and destabilize South Korea. 2. Nuclear weapons. North Korea's nuclear weapons program and nuclear tests has been a major source of concern not only for South Korea but also for the rest of the world. North Korea uses the nuclear weapon threat as a tool to do diplomatic negotiations with South Korea as well as the United States. 3. Cyber warfare. North Korea also possesses cyber warfare capabilities and has been suspected for executing cyber attacks on South Korea in the past. These include state-sponsored cyber attack on banking systems, hacking systems to steal sensitive information, and hacking cryptocurrency exchange of South Korea. The unpredictable and dangerous behavior of North Korea has been a challenge for South Korea. They have adopted a strategy of maintaining a strong defense on one hand, along with seeking diplomatic conversations with North Korea on the other to reduce tensions and work towards promoting peace. Also, South Korea maintains a close relationship with the United States for security against potential threats from its archenemy. Chapter 4. Debt and Poverty. Beneath the high-rise skyscrapers of South Korea, a stark income inequality exists. Due to a high cost of living, a large population of South Korea suffers from debt that has been snowballing over the years. Household debt to GDP ratio of South Korea has risen to 105%, which is the third largest in the world. This issue also became the premise of a popular Netflix show called The Squid Games. Moreover, about half of South Korea's population above the age of 65 lives in poverty. The biggest reason for this is the low social spending by the government. The South Korean government spends around 11% of GDP on social welfare, which is one of the lowest among the developed nations. Moreover, children don't take care of their aging parents in their old age anymore, which used to be the tradition in the 20th century. Chapter 5. Gender Inequality. As per World Politics Review, for almost 3 decades, South Korea has had the worst gender pay gap among the developed nations, with women earning about 31% less than men. Also, only 5% of the publicly listed companies have women as their CEOs in South Korea. There are many examples of labor movements and strike against powerful conglomerates, exposing the dark side of South Korea's economic success. South Korea, often celebrated for its achievements, also faces a range of challenges that need attention. From poverty to mental health struggles, aging demographics, gender inequality, and the ongoing North-South Korea conflict, this nation struggles with complexities that go beyond its shiny exterior. However, it is important to remember that no nation exists without its shadow. South Korea has a long history of successfully overcoming challenges in the past. And this time as well, there is no doubt that by acknowledging and collectively working on these existing issues, it can victoriously overcome and grow into a more equitable and compassionate nation.